The only thing scarier than facing the wrath of the D'Angelo crime family is disappointing them. Isabella D'Angelo has never known freedom, born into one of the most feared mafia families in New York. Her life was measured in whispers, veiled threats, and loyalty bought with blood. The world saw her as untouchable, the elegant, sophisticated daughter of a man everyone feared. Behind closed doors, though, she was trapped in a gilded cage of her father's design. Her days were spent planning charity events and meeting prospective marriage candidates, all while dodging the tight grip of her overprotective father. Any flicker of independence was met with icy glares and cutting words. Any dream of a life outside his shadow was crushed with the force of his disappointment. Her father's trust was a dangerous currency, and she had none to spend. Every move she made, every smile she gave, every name she spoke could be an opportunity for him to test her, to push her against the wall of his expectations. Until she learned her place. His empire was built on darkness, and he saw every bit of sunlight as a potential threat. To the outside world, Isabella was flawless, the perfect little girl who had done no wrong. But beneath that porcelain skin and carefully applied makeup was a young woman aching to break free. She dreamed of a world where she was defined by the darkness that clung to her family name, where she could just be Isabella, not the mafia princess. But how does a caged bird sing? Elena Rivera paints the souls of New York with paint-stained fingers and eyes full of light. She captures the essence of those who sit for her, breathing life onto the canvas with each stroke. Elena's art is her passion, her sanctuary, a world where she's not defined by anything except the beauty she sees around her. With a heart full of empathy and a soul attuned to the music of the city, she pours her emotions onto the canvas, creating masterpieces that resonate with those who see them. For Elena, every face tells a story, every glance a poem. She doesn't just paint portraits, she paints emotions, experiences, memories. Her studio is a sanctuary filled with the aroma of oil paints and old coffee, a place where creativity flows as freely as the paint from her brush. Here she finds solace. Here she pours her heart out. For Isabella, the renowned artist's work is more than just colors and shapes. It's a lifeline, a way to escape the suffocating world of her father's expectations. She's drawn to Elena's art like a moth to a flame, captivated by the raw emotion and unadulterated beauty that emanates from the canvases. When Isabella first steps into Elena's studio, she's immediately struck by the intoxicating blend of creativity and passion that fills the air. The sight of Elena standing before her latest masterpiece, a paintbrush in hand, is like a jolt of electricity to her senses. In that moment, Isabella realizes she's not just come to buy a portrait, she's come to buy a piece of her own freedom, a fragment of a life she can only dream of. "I want you to paint my portrait," she says, her voice echoing in the vast space of the studio. The words hang in the air between them, charged with unspoken meanings, a declaration of war against the stifling confines of her life. At first, Isabella sits stiffly in a black dress, her hands folded neatly in her lap, every inch of her screaming discipline. She's a prisoner in her own tailored suit, her movements precise, her posture perfect, but Elena's gaze is unwavering, her eyes boring into Isabella like a sculptor seeking to capture the essence of her subject. "You don't have to look like a statue," Elena says softly, moving closer with her sketch pad. "I want you, not the version they make you." For a moment, Isabella is taken aback. No one had ever spoken to her like that. No one had dared. She's accustomed to deference, not candor. But there's something about Elena's gentle persistence that breaks through the armor around Isabella's heart. She hesitates, then relaxes slightly, allowing herself to lean back in the chair. I thought you wanted accuracy, Isabella replies, her voice a low murmur. Elena smiles, that kind of smile that breaks through walls. I want you, she repeats, her eyes gleaming with understanding. Not the version they make you. As the days turn into weeks, the studio becomes more than just a place of work. It evolves into a sanctuary for Isabella, a world apart from her father's watchful eye. Here, amidst the intoxicating aroma of oil, paints, and turpentine, she sheds the layers of her carefully constructed facade, revealing the raw, unfiltered essence of herself to Elena. Their conversations stretch long into the night, punctuated by the rhythmic scrape of Elena's brush on the canvas. As the city sleeps, Isabella lets slip fragments of her life, half-truths, careful omissions. She couldn't reveal everything. Not the guns, not the blood, but Elena is sharp. She reads the silences as much as the words. Still, she never judges. She just listens. And Isabella finds herself fallen for the quiet strength of the woman who sees her, really sees her, beyond the facade, beyond the expectations, beyond the darkness that clings to her family name. One evening, the city lights flicker through the tall windows of the studio, casting long shadows on the walls. Elena wipes paint from her cheek with a rag, walks over and touches Isabella's hand. It's a simple, innocent gesture, yet it lights up Isabella's whole body like a wildfire. You're more than your last name, Elena whispers, her eyes searching Isabella's. You're more than your father's expectations. You're more than the darkness they try to keep you in. Her words are a revelation, a key unlocking a prison Isabella didn't realize she'd been living in. In that moment, the dam breaks and Isabella pours out her heart, sharing the fears, the dreams, the hopes, the disappointments, the pain, the isolation, the loneliness, the emptiness, all the things she's kept hidden for so long, all the things that have been eating away at her soul. She lays bare before Elena, and somehow, in sharing her story, she feels lighter, freer, as if a heavy cloak has been lifted from her shoulders. That night, under the soft glow of the studio lights, Isabella leans against Elena, finding comfort in the warmth of her presence. She breathes deeply, trying to imprint this feeling of liberation, this sense of being truly seen, truly heard on her soul. Later that night, as the city sleeps and the studio is bathed in the soft glow of moonlight, Isabella kisses Elena. It's a kiss that's soft at first, then urgent, hungry, as if she's been starved of this all her life. The taste of freedom is sweet on her lips, intoxicating in its intensity. And in that shared breath, in that stolen moment, they find solace, they find connection, they find love. Love, in Isabella's world, is a luxury she can't afford. Her father's watchful eyes pierce even the deepest shadows, and his ears are everywhere, hearing everything. He knows. He always knows. One day, a chill wind sweeps through the city, carrying with it the scent of danger and deceit. Isabella feels it in her bones, sees it in the tightening of Elena's grip on her hand. Her father has learned about Elena. He doesn't know everything, but he knows enough. She's a weakness, he growls, his voice a menacing rumble. And weaknesses don't last long in this family. His words are a death knell, echoing the sentiment that has haunted Isabella's life. She's always been a pawn in her father's game, a tool to be used, discarded when she's no longer of use. Isabella's blood goes cold. For the first time, she feels true fear, not for herself, but for Elena. She knows what her father is capable of, how far he'll go to protect his empire, to maintain his power. Elena's life is in danger, and Isabella won't stand idly by while she's torn away from her. That night, as the city sleeps, oblivious to the storm brewing in the heart of darkness, Isabella makes a decision. Love has shown her the strength of vulnerability, the power of connection. Now she must use that strength to protect Elena, to shield her from the encroaching darkness. In a desperate race against time, Isabella races through the labyrinthine streets of the city, the urgency of her mission pounding in her veins. She bursts into Elena's studio, breathless, her eyes wide with fear. "We have to go," she whispers, her voice shaking. "Now?" Elena drops her brush, her eyes searching Isabella's face for answers. "What's happened? Is everything okay?" "My father will never stop," Isabella says, her voice cracking. "He'll never let me have this. Have us." Tears stream down her face, a mixture of fear and determination. "I'm sorry," she whispers, reaching out to touch Elena's cheek. "I never meant to hurt you, to put you in danger because of me." Elena cups Isabella's face in her hands, her touch gentle yet firm. "Don't," she murmurs, her eyes blazing with the fire of 1,000 suns. "It doesn't matter what he wants, what he thinks he can do. We leave tonight together." They embrace, holding on to each other as if their very souls depend on it. In that moment, they are two souls intertwined, bound by a love that defies the darkness that seeks to consume them.